I'm Aguilar from My Point TV here in downtown Austin. Governor Greg Abbott recently hinted at clemency for the 19 cops that were indicted and charged with aggravated assault for the 2020 racial injustice riots. But I asked a few people here in downtown, what are their reactions, and should cops be held responsible? So y'all heard about the indictments? What are your what are your thoughts on those indictments? Do you think the cops should be more responsible, or are you in defense of them?
The process goes through what it does. Once the decision's made through the trial process, then I'll have an opinion. In the meantime, everybody's innocent and proven guilty.
Exactly.
I agree. Let it go through.
Hey, you agree?
Yeah.
I live around the UT area. There, the cops are generally okay. Over the past couple months, actually, they've been, I think, a lot more transparent about what happens and updating us with, incidents that happen, as well as just being more communicative with the people in general.
My reaction to everything was obviously, this was a whole movement that we were seeing nationwide, and I don't think any city was any exception to the rule of the conflict you were seeing between protesters and the police. Obviously, it's a very delicate situation. You're, of course, going to have instances where protesters can get a bit unruly. We had several instances of that at the Capitol. It was interesting to kind of see that because a lot of the people that were actually causing a lot of property damage and other things like that were not people of color. But obviously that plays into when it's a BLM associated movement, you're seeing a lot of property destruction. So police do have a responsibility to protect and serve, but there were absolutely instances that you could see on videotape of some powers being, I felt, utilized in a way that was not appropriate or not necessary in certain circumstances, which is why I think a lot of the cases are coming to light now.
We absolutely disagree with it, and the reason we do is in past DAs, if you were involved in an officer-involved shooting or you were involved in a use of force incident, they would allow you to come before the grand jury and give your version of why you did what you did.
President of the Austin Police Association, Kenneth Cassidy, says he's working diligently in the courts to overturn the charges.
We're excited to get into the courtroom to prove, and to lay out what we know. And there's also hundreds of hours of footage that the department and city haven't released yet that we want released.
Cassidy also argued that the city of Austin is withholding crucial evidence of officers defending themselves against rioters throwing objects.
But any police officer involved shooting is usually going to end up in some type of a civil case where the city's being sued. So why is it so important to get that information out there when an officer is involved in a shooting, but when there's actually good video evidence to explain why the officers did what they did, they're not releasing it? And that's another question the citizens would need to ask. As
of this recording, the cases haven't moved farther than the charges, and all 19 officers were placed on administrative leave, according to The Guardian. From My Point TV, I'm Aguilar, and that's how I see it.